go. All right, so before we get started with the collage, I want to really just quickly touch on the submission requirements. So the extra images and stuff that you need to make from your series of 3. So let's see this one. Hey, look at that. It's a blank document. Open. Actually, let's go back. Sorry. Open recent. CO3. Okay, so that's apparently wrong. Oh, I just got really hungry. Where is it? There we go. All right, so let's look at our images. All right, so say this is a finished thing. It's not, but let's say it's a finished thing. There's a couple of different things you need to turn in. Let's go back to blue line really quick and double check it. So these requirements are under the draft submission. I'll copy them and put them into the final submission as well. You need your written component. Don't forget that. So it's 150 words. You can just make it a comment on your submission. Just explain what you did. Like, what was the intent of the project? What was the focal point of the composition? Does it have a good, how does it have a good composition? Explain how you use the rule of thirds if you did, or one of the other composition principles that we, principles that we learned. So, all right, so turn in all your separate files. So these are your source files that you found. Okay, all the images that you used to make up the original picture. I want all those images. Just put them in a folder. I think I have them, like I have a folder here called series of 3, and then inside of that I have a folder called photos. All right, these are all the images that I found to use. I think this TIFF is gigantic, so I'm actually going to delete it. But all of these, just turn that in. It's a good idea, again, to just have a project folder that has all this stuff in it. So that's your source images. Okay, and then your final composition, exported as a JPEG. All right, I'm going to show you how to do that. So this is my final composition as a Photoshop document. All right, this is my working document in Photoshop. To export, there is a quick export option. So quick export as JPEG, you can do that. But I want you to double check your export preferences first. So we're going to click on export preferences. We'll get this little drop box or dialog box. So it says quality. So our format is a JPEG. If you click on that, you'll get 3 other formats. Our quality 85, that's fine. Export location. Ask where each time is probably a good thing. Metadata, if you want this is not super important, but you can do copyright and contact info. And then convert to sRGB. So these are all the defaults. You can just leave them as they are. The big thing to make sure is that you have it set as JPEG and that the quality is 85 or above. Okay. All right. Okay. If you hit OK, it still hasn't saved it for me yet. So then I'll just do quick export as JPEG. Where do you want to save it? Make a new folder called exports. And if you want, just leave that the same. Save it in there. All right. It should pop up. Oops. Twitchy fingers. So exports, JPEG. It's right there. So it's a good size, 2.7 megs. Not exactly a web size, but still a good size. It's still a little big for the web. But all right, what's one of our other? So, all right, so that was a little big for the web. Let's actually change that a little. Let's go to our export preferences again, or you can go to export as, which gives you a bigger dialog box to mess around with. Going to generate a preview, and it's also going to tell us how big the image is here in a second. So let's change this to JPEG. All right, so here's our JPEG. You can see that at 100% quality, at 100% size, it's going to be 12.8 megs. Okay, way too big for the web. A good web image is about a meg or less. So 1 megabyte or less. Okay. So let's change our quality. Let's go down to 80. Should kind of reset. So it's processing. You see it down here. So that's 2 megs. Our original width is pretty gigantic, so maybe let's drop that down to like 75%. No, still 2 megs. Still not. It's not taking that into account for some reason. Process it. Let's drop this down to 75. Whoa. A little glitchy. I don't know what happened with that preview. I'm not sure what's going on with that. Okay, it's still processing apparently. So long as your smallest dimension is over, I don't know, 1500 pixels. So if you're adjusting your scale, right? So over here, if I'm adjusting my scale, as long as my smallest dimension is over 1500 pixels, you're okay, right? So try to get your file size down as much as possible, under a meg. So really, I would be okay here. Hit export all. Where do you want to save it? We'll call this one small. Saves it in there. So there's a small one. Wow, it really did save it. Oh wow, it really did do it that way. I thought it was just a glitch. All right, let's try that again. That was bizarre. Export. Slurp. I don't know why it just showed us the one element. Is it the layer that I have selected? What is going on? That's really weird. When I scale it down, it glitches out and only shows me one image. Yeah, thank you Photoshop for breaking. I don't know. Let's see what it does when it's done processing. There used to be a Save for Web legacy in here, and apparently they got rid of it. It's annoying. Okay, so if you're coming across sort of like the same glitch that I'm getting here, just keep it up at 100 for the size, and just mess with your quality to get it down to under a meg. So 60 should get us under. Oh, that's close. Let's go to 50. Yeah, so 50 got us under. Export it. Smaller. Okay, so there's our smaller one. It's under a meg. That's pretty good. See our file info here. If you don't see that, like if you have one of these other settings made or settings turned on, this way of viewing your files in your Finder, check your console. I mean, you can always, you get some of that same info in here too. But just in whatever way you can or you're comfortable with, make sure that you've got it under a meg. All right, that is the web. That's the JPEG that I want.
Is that the only one?
Yeah, that's the only one I want you to turn in. You only need to do one. You don't need another one. So turn in that one. So you need your source images. So those are the photos. Your exports, or really just your export. Okay. So, it needs to be under a meg, and then I want your Photoshop document. All right. So let me take these out of here. Guys, listen. Hey, up here. Make sure this is what you have in your project folder. All right. So your exports that has, get rid of that one. That's got your web version of your image as a JPEG. Your source photos. All your source photos should be in a folder, appropriately labeled, and then your Photoshop document. I don't know why we're not getting a preview of it, but we're not. Okay. Any questions on that?
Wait, what does the exports one have?
It just has that JPEG that we made. You can call it JPEG or whatever you want. Exports, JPEGs.
So one's like the original one and the other one's the exported version?
Yeah, so here's the one, here's your Photoshop one that has all your layer information and your layer adjustments and all that. And then the export that we did is just a flat JPEG image that doesn't have any layer info. It's not a working document. Okay. Yeah.
If we save it to the server, do you want us to upload it to Blue Line too?
You can save it to the server. Just make sure all this stuff's on the server.
And on Blue Line, just submit like the 150 word.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, that's fine.
Okay.
All right. When you submit to Blue Line's only going to accept zip files. So you need to compress it. So compress your project folder, the overall folder. Just compress it. You end up with a zip of however big it's going to be. Okay? It's more or less, I mean, that's more or less what we did on Thursday without the export. Okay, so just make sure you do the export, and you can resubmit it. It's Thursday's assignment is still open. Yeah.
It's still telling me that I don't have permission to access the server.
Are you on guest or wireless? Check your Wi-Fi.
Wireless.
Really? If you can't get on the server, just do it to Blue Line for now. I sent lots of emails to do it last week about that.
And then
Did you double check with Sandra? Did you go talk to her?
I didn't.
Okay, talk to her after class. Tell her that you can't connect to the server and see if that. But can you get on the IMAX in here? Try logging into one of them. 'Cause it might be a NetID thing. Anybody else? You can't get on the server. Just if you can't get on the server, just do Blue Line. Okay.
Just turn it into the compressed, right?
Yeah, just the zip file. Blue Line will only take a zip file. So, okay.
Also, if my original JPEG is like 16 megs,
Make it smaller. Make a new one that's smaller.
can I do that while still keeping it at the right pixel
Yeah.
count?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just you're lowering the quality. So.
So how should I send you the files with like the photos and stuff? Should I email it to you?
No. Everything goes to Blue Line.
Oh, everything goes?
Yeah.
Can you upload a folder to Blue Line?
No, it's just a zip file. So just compress it. Compress the folder that has all the other stuff in it.
Oh, and then
It
you'll
makes-
be able to like reopen.
Yeah, it makes this, and you upload the zip file to Blue Line, and then I download the zip file, and I double click it, and I uncompress it. And when I uncompress it, it shows up as a folder that has other stuff in it.
Okay.
Oh, my
All right. Any other questions?
I was just gonna say, how did you get the Photoshop image like outside of those two folders? You know what I mean? Like, cause there was a folder for the JPEG and then the photos, but then you have that separate one right there.
Yeah, so this is just my Photoshop document. It's my working document. I have it organized to show me by kind. So if I just go by name, it does that. So if you organize by kind, it like will give you that delineation to show you. So to put all my folders here, and then my Photoshop document here. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. It doesn't matter how you organize it in here. I just want, your project folder you should have two folders inside of that: JPEGs, photos, source photos, and then your exports. Actually, I'm gonna go back to that exports. Source images. Just something that lets me know what each folder has in it, right? And then your Photoshop document. Those are the three things that should be in this folder. Two folders that have stuff in them, and then your Photoshop document. Cool. I will. Hold on. Let me. I'll make a picture and I'll put it on Blue Line. Oops. All right. I will put this in the assignment right now so that there is an image. I work better with pictures, seeing how things work, so it makes sense that. All right. And then we will do our project because we have 25 minutes left. Yay! All right. So now there is a picture of exactly what I want. This is exactly what I want in your submissions. There we go. Should I make that red too? Red. Okay. Any other questions? No? Yeah.
You want us to just upload to the final submission, not the draft submission? Or,
Oh, final? Yeah, you can. I mean, you can do either. You can.
oh, it's okay. So
Yeah.
stop vote.
I mean, might as well just do the final submission. That way, you're not overlapping your submissions. Yeah. Yeah. Just do the final submission. Right. The requirements, though, are listed in here in the draft. Although I can really quickly dump it into final.
Do we put the red up in that zip folder?
No, just make it a comment with your submission.
Okay.
So what we're gonna do today, we're actually just gonna end early and we'll do the collage on Thursday. I'm not gonna be able to get through it in 20 minutes, and I'm done talking. I'm tired. I'm tired of talking. Does that make anybody really sad? Yeah, Mary's really sad. Mary, you can stay and we'll do the collage if you want. All right. All right, so if you're good, if you don't have any other questions, feel free to take off. Thursday, we will be doing the collage project, so I'll start right away with the demo, and then we'll go from there, okay?